Chief of police put himself in jail. He unlocked the cell door and threw away the key in his hand. He turned to the big screen on the wall. There was a body in a protective suit. It was the man's wife, Anna. The deputy sheriff just walked in. He tried to convince the man not to do anything stupid, but John, with a determined look on his face, said, "I want to get out of here." And with those words, John was sentenced to death. It turns out that in this underground city called the Silo, there is a very strict rule. No one can say the words "I want to go out," or else they will be expelled to the surface and die in front of everyone, and die in a world filled with poisonous gas. But Anna and her best friend George saw a hidden video on a computer hard drive. There was no poisonous gas out there. The world is full of birds and flowers and life. To prove it, Anna chose to take the risk. In front of the public, she shouted, "I want to get out of here." Although John was the sheriff, John, as sheriff, had to fight back his grief and banished his wife to the ground with his own hands. He was hopeful that what Anna had found was true. But in front of everyone, Anna was killed by the gas. George witnessed the death of his friend. He was determined to continue to find out the truth, to find out what happened. But it wasn't long before he was also brutally murdered. John sensed a conspiracy, so he went to George's girlfriend to investigate. Julie took out a note from her boyfriend. It said that the truth was hidden in the place where we used to go out. To face John's doubts, Julie didn't explain too much. She took him to the bottom of the silo. At the end of the passage, there was a warning sign: "Do not cross this point, or you will be punished to the fullest extent." John was confused, but Julie removed the sign to reveal a gap in the wall. The two of them went through it to the other side of the passage and found a hole in the ground a short distance away. Julie climbed down with John in tow. When they reached their destination, she immediately turned on the light. John was stunned by what he saw. There was a huge excavator underground. This must have been after the silo was dug out. The workers couldn't get it out, so they sealed it with 9 meters of concrete, and then built a 144-story underground city on top of it. George found a diagram of the silo structure on his hard drive. That's how he found this place. He used to take Julie on dates here. The two of them began to look for clues. After a few moments, Julie found a hidden fishing line. She followed the fishing line. She pulled up a package from underneath. Inside was a computer hard disk and a work notebook. John decided to take these two things back to study, and told Julie, "If anything happens to me, I will leave you a clue." But what he didn't realize was that the next day, John put himself in jail, and said the words he couldn't say. Under the supervision of the mayor and deputy sheriff. And was about to be banished to the surface. But he didn't regret it, because he had seen the truth on the hard drive. That's why he had to get out of the silo, to find the wife he loved so much. John had just arrived on the surface. He saw something he'd never seen before in his life. He rushed to wipe down the sensors, to get a better view of the people in the silo. But no matter how clean he wiped, what people saw was still a barren landscape. As everyone watched, John walked toward the body on the ground, but there was nothing in front of him. At that moment, he suddenly felt dizzy, and he couldn't breathe. He took off his helmet, and this action caused a gasp of surprise, because no one had ever done this before. As everyone watched, John struggled to reach his wife's body, but in the end, he couldn't hold on and collapsed next to his wife. It all seemed to be a surprise to everyone, but Julie couldn't figure it out. Why did John kill himself? Why his boyfriend had been killed? She suddenly remembered what George had said. There's a door in the underground river. Behind it could be all the answers. So Anna went back to the excavator and tied a rope and decided to go down and find out.